and welcome to The Standpoint. Did you enjoy last week's program? Yes, it was on suicide. Actually, the topic was daughters and the emotional battle. Yes, today we are continuing because it's such an important topic. It's something that is really affecting us as a nation. We are all very, very worried about it, and we need to talk about it. Today we are continuing with another angle. That's a depression. Depression. It's a huge topic, and whether we like it or not, it is happening, and we all need to be aware of it and sit up and do something about it. You never know when it will knock on your door. We don't even know the symptoms. Well, we've got the right people here to talk about it today, so you don't want to miss any part of today's program. Hello again and welcome to The Standpoint. Let me say thank you to GTP for giving me the cloth all these years. I'm so grateful to them. It was sewn by Ophelia Crossland Designs. I'm so grateful to them as always. My beads, actually my accessories, today I'm not doing beads. My accessories by Core Designs. They are at Laboni GT building. They're not difficult to find at all. Makeup products by Paba Cosmetics. Paba Cosmetics is also at Laboni and East Legon, and put together beautifully by Makeup and More. I'm so grateful to all these supporters. We take a break. When we come back, we'll get straight into talking about depression. Welcome back to The Standpoint. Let me say thank you to the African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. They support African women's rights organizations across Africa. Thank you to Tinatet Herbal. They make the Tinatet Venacare and Tomacare and almost all the good or quality herbal-based medicines. When you go to any pharmacy, you're looking for any herbal-based medicine, look for the Tinatet sign and you won't be wrong. NS Chemist, producers of Anti-Mary Baby Gripe Mixture and Nescofa Blood Tonic. They produce quality and affordable medicines for Ghanaians and beyond. And then Wilma Africa Limited, manufacturers of Fritol, our good old Fritol, and Fortune Rice. Fortune Rice, three types. Three types in terms of the packaging. The first one is the green one. That one is very good. Very, very good for mutu and rice water and the soft dishes. The orange packaged one is very good for wache. And then the wine one, my one, as my niece would say, that's my one, is for jollof rice and fried rice and all the, fantilized, specialized, rices that you can do. Thank you to Lip Tomato Paste. Good tomato, good taste. Well, in the studio, I have to my extreme left in beautiful red, which I am jealous because I love red, is Dr. Amachiwa Edwin. She's a medical doctor. She's a clinical psychologist. Welcome back to The Standpoint.
Thank you.
And then next to her is my own sister from another mother. In fact, she's not my sister, she's my daughter. She's Mrs. Favor Hilda Apini Brown, founder of Favor Foundation for Life. She is a chemical engineer. Welcome back to The Standpoint. It's been a while.
Thank you, Gifty.
Dr. how am I doing? When we talk about depression, what is it?
So depression is an illness like malaria, cancer, anything. That's what I want to put on record.
It's an illness, it's not a condition.
Well, I mean, what I mean is it's a medical illness. So
Okay.
it's not like you choose to be depressed.
Okay.
You don't. We all have bad days. We all have low days. We all have that. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about a medical condition like any other that is treatable. And it's got specific symptoms. But oftentimes, because the symptoms tend to be more emotional and also related to your thoughts, people tend to think that it's your choice. This is something you can shake yourself out of it. Don't let it sit on you, and all that puts a lot of pressure on
because
those
you're
who
told
are dealing.
snap out of it.
Snap out of it. I mean, the joy of the Lord is your strength. I mean, I think the most ridiculous one I've heard is like Christian cannot be depressed because the joy of the Lord is your strength. So if you're a Christian and you are depressed, it's either you don't have a good relationship with God, you're not growing, or there's sin in your life. Look at the Bible. Look at Elijah. I mean, he was suicidal. He said, look, God, enough. I've had enough. Just take me. I don't want to continue living. And this is a man that the Bible talks about when it comes to faith. He didn't die. God took him up, and yet he went through that episode. So what are we talking about? So depression is a medical condition that has specific signs and symptoms, but it's also very treatable. The key is to recognize, or those around you to recognize. So basically, for most people who are going through what we call major depressive disorder, so that's a clinical diagnosis, or MDD, there are two key things. One, you lose joy in things that you normally would do joyfully, things that you if you are the person who likes reading, you don't want to read. If you are a telenovela person, you don't even want the TV on, let alone watch. You have no joy in life. That is one major symptom. And then the other is that you are sad, pervasive sadness with irritability, or you can also be irritable, so you find that you are snappy. Things that normally would, not irritate you, you can't stand it. And that can be a major thing. And then we have other things that come on with it, the weight loss or weight gain, appetite, loss or increase in appetite, then the physical things. Some people have headaches, some people have unspecific symptoms. I even had a patient who was operated on because he had a depressive disorder, but whenever it came with severe pain, abdominal pain. I knew I had been managing, but one time she got sick and the children rushed her to Kolibu, and she was open up thinking it was an acute abdomen, nothing wrong. So later on I got to know, and I told the surgeons, just put her on antidepressants and she'll be fine. So the symptom description is varied, but the main thing are the two cardinal ones: loss of joy, what we call anhedonia, on things that normally you find pleasurable, and the extreme sadness or guilt or feeling unworthy or being irritable. Any of that with any of the other symptoms.
Okay. Hilda, for those who haven't seen you on the standpoint before and having heard your story, we'll not go too much into details, but you went through a situation where you attempted suicide 3 times.
Yeah.
That's what's led you to, as a survivor, led you to set up the foundation to help others, right? Yeah. Did you get into a depressive or depression state?
Yeah, it was over a long period of time, over like 5 years. Even though I didn't know, it was after I got suicidal and then got treatment that I said, okay, all this while I had been through depression, but I didn't know, and nobody knew. Because it's like, anytime I talked to someone that this is what I'm going through, and I think that I'm not happy about it, the reaction you get, like she said, is as a Christian,
because you are a pastor's daughter.
Yes. And you just read your Bible, pray, and I remember one pastor asked me that the time you thought of committing the suicide, even not one scripture came to your mind. I stopped talking to him about my problems because I realized that he was the wrong person to even deal with in the first place. He didn't even know what was wrong with me. Right. So talking to him. So sometimes the reactions even worsen your situation because you feel like everyone around doesn't seem to even see that there's anything wrong. So it's like over a period of over 5 years, I kept going through the same thing. This thing, I can't deal with it. I'm even struggling to forgive it because the person is not even sorry. And they are like, it is your duty to forgive. It doesn't matter if the person changes or not, if the person is not sorry. What you have to do, the Bible says, forgive. And we all went through it. I have been with your dad all these years, and we had our problems. We have gone through it, and you can do it. Then you also take that, you want to be bold. You want
so not having a listening ear kind of worsens.
Yes. it really made me, it prolonged my problem, because if I had a listening ear early, I may not have gotten suicidal. Because I felt that nobody understood me. And this is a pain that I am going through all alone. So why not end it? And it's like you keep going to them, you're always a bother. You go, the person gives you the same solution. Read your Bible, pray about it.
You know, last week when we did the program with Angela, Angela made a comment that, Angela Dakwa Ado, she made a comment, I don't know what happened and I cut myself. Was it a case that you also didn't know what happened and you attempted or you knew what you were doing?
The first trial, it was one word. This person I felt was the cause of my problem. It's like he had hurt me so much that I felt he should be sorry. He said, you are frustrated. I can see you are just a frustrated woman. It's like you just want to, that word, you know, kept ringing through my mind, frustrated. So I'm frustrated. And I said, okay, I had no reason to be frustrated if not for this relationship. And nobody is ready to allow me get out of it because I'm a Christian. I am supposed to make sure it works.
Yeah, divorce
so let me just, you know, kill myself, and then we all have our peace, so that everybody would be at peace that I'm gone. So it was just that word that triggered it. The next trials was, after I tried, he went to the police and told them that she's trying to commit suicide. Pick her up before you come and tell me that I'm the reason why she died. Whoa. And that was my first time of going to a police station because I'd never. So when I got there, then the commander was like, we are supposed to prosecute you, but you know, for me, I think that you really need help. So I would try to talk to somebody who can. So
this is a police officer who
understands
the issues.
Yes. If he wanted to go by the law, probably I should have been in prison by now. Yes. So I felt more embarrassed. It's like, I have a problem. Nobody can help me. I'm still appearing in police because they had to check on me and all that. So it was too much for me. Then I said, okay, let me just
that
finish
also
it
pushed you
to end. I said, okay, the first time I drank Corazone and it didn't work. That's why they got me. So this time I'm going to jump from a high building. Then a colleague, a worker came around and then saved me. Then after the third time, I was driving, then it's like an articulator was coming. So it was like just speed and then crash in. It's like before I could, then the articulator came and passed. Before I could say, Jack, I don't know how, because I really would have done it. It passed, so I had to pack.
Right.
I packed for some time, then I called some friends and then, you know, talked to them. And that was when one of them suggested that I had to come to the US for psychotherapy. And that was the turnaround for me.
So I ask again, all these times, you knew what you were about to do. You were conscious about it, that I'm going to do this. Not that you don't know what, by the time you realized you were about to do.
No.
You knew that.
I think of my situation, it starts with thinking of what I'm going through now.
Yeah.
So what is
then the idea comes.
Yes.
Was it this idea or you're hearing voices?
I didn't hear voices.
Just an idea.
Yes, it just
an idea.
I decided that this is what I think would help me. So let me.
All right, let me take a break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the things that can trigger depression, because sometimes, as Hilda said, we don't understand the but she seems okay. Everything, her parents are okay. Her husband is okay. Everybody is treating, you know, her nicely. And then why is she doing this? Why should? Well, let me take a break. Let me say thank you to our supporters, House of Foods, Auntie Vera. I always mention your name. Thank you so much. Got Yogurt. I mean, Lloyd and the team. Thank you so much for the yogurt. Thank you to Cake Techniques. So grateful. You're always supporting us and giving us something to refresh our guests, and we are grateful to you too. Cleaning Services. Matamis gives us the port, and as always, Yadasi. We take a break. When we come back, we'll still be looking deep into depression. Welcome back to The Standpoint. Remember, this program is also aired on ABN TV on Sky Channel 235, which is across Western Europe, parts of Canada, Asia, and North Africa. It's aired on ABN TV on Mondays at 4 p.m. and Saturdays at 6 p.m. You don't want to miss it if you are anywhere in Western Europe, parts of Canada, Asia, or North Africa. You can also watch us on our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh, powered by Dream Oval. Welcome back to The Standpoint. And again, I say thank you to GTP for giving me the cloth. Ophelia Crossland Design Sews for me. And the Paba Cosmetics gives us the makeup product. Makeup and More apply the makeup for us. Makeup and More has a cosmetology school, which is at Sakumono. So if you want to learn anything cosmetology, just contact them. Kua Accessories, they are at Laboni GT building. And they give me my accessories today, my earring, my leafy bangle and my ring, you know, they gave it to me. So grateful to them. Now, Dr. how am I doing? Depression.
Yeah.
What are some of the causes?
Okay. So like any medical condition, we have what we call predisposing factors, precipitating factors, and maintaining factors. So there are certain things that predispose people to various conditions.
Okay.
So in case of depression, if someone in your family has ever had any major mental disorder, mental health disorder, you are more predisposed. Sometimes it's genetic. Maybe you have some mutation in your genes that make you predisposed to that. So those are some of the predisposing factors. Then precipitating factor, what she was talking about, a relationship which had gone sad, there had been unfaithfulness, if I got it right, but because she was a Christian, she couldn't leave, and the person actually called her a frustrated woman. You should have seen my face when she heard that. I was like, oh no, because I mean, if you tell me that, I don't know what I'll do. Yeah. So that was a precipitating factor for her. And in her case, she also tried to commit a suicide. She didn't succeed. She was sent to the police station, and that for her, the disgrace and everything, that was too much. So she attempted a second time and was saved, and then the third time, because she was in that condition, but nobody seemed to get it. So we need to reconceptualize how we see depression. It is an illness that is very treatable, and it is worldwide. Depression is the commonest cause of physical and mental disability. You can quote me anywhere. Go to WHO website. It is there. This year's theme is depression. Let's talk about it, because people are suffering. And the worst thing is for people, especially if you have the emotional symptoms, you come to a hospital or you go to a hospital, most people will pick it. But those who have physical symptoms, I talked about a patient who was actually opened up because people didn't pick it up. For some practitioners, in their frustrations, like, we can't find anything, go and see the psychiatrist.
Right, so depression does not manifest only in emotions and actions.
Yes, so then let me group it. So you have the thought part. So you feel feelings of unworthiness. I don't feel worthy. You feel guilty about things that you shouldn't feel guilty about. So we have the symptoms that are thought related. Not hearing voices per se, but your thought condemns you. Your thoughts are negative all the time. Even someone gives you a compliment and it's like, really? That's why he's just saying it, you know. So you can't see any positive thing. Then we have the behavioral ones. So with eating, for some it's overeating. For most people it's not eating at all. Weight loss. If you see someone who is not deliberately losing weight and has lost weight within a very short time, that could be an alert. Lack of sleep is one major thing. Insomnia. People can't sleep, or they lie in bed for a long time, toss about, or wake up early. That is another common behavioral thing. But then the most painful one is the emotional one, because that one nobody sees. You see, if I'm sleeping too much, if I'm eating too much, drinking too much tea, drinking too much coffee, people who know you was like, oh, what's going on? Something.
You don't do this.
Yes, you don't do this. So unusual behavior change, people can pick up.
So Hilda, how do you know that I'm getting depressed? or how can a friend, a relative detect that my friend, my sister, my brother, my friend is getting depressed?
For me, what to look out for is certain things that you know of the person that you no longer see. Like she said, you want to be all alone. You no longer want to associate because you think that you are the only one in this. You are going through something nobody else understands. So let me just keep to myself. And then sometimes you pretend to be strong, even though you are not. And then also, what I would say is that let's be there for each other, because I realize that sometimes we just do things on the surface. We don't probe more to know details about things people say. The person is talking about maybe this person did this to me. Then you jump into conclusion. Allow the person to bring out whatever he or she is saying.
Allow people to talk.
Yes.
Have a listening ear.
Perfect. If you think that it's beyond you, get somebody who can help. Most of the pastors I talked to, it was after I got the treatment that I realized that they themselves, they need the same treatment that I... Seriously. But they were trying to help. And you know you can't help. It is not your field. It's something that needs a professional. Don't do it. When I got the treatment in the US and I came back, I was like, I had nothing to, worry myself about. I just had to do a mental restructuring. I have to realize that you would be in a relationship and you don't determine what the other person would do to you. But initially I was like, I treated this person this way. The person has to treat me that way. Why is this person? No. And another mistake that I had at the back of my mind was that this person is spiritual. So he can't go wrong. When I was growing up, if you ask me what kind of man do you, I want a man who can blow tongues and then, a spiritual person.
And this was a super tongue blowing one.
Yes. So I felt that as for this thing, he can't do it. No. So when he did it, it was like a shock to me. You have to understand that human beings are human beings and they are fallible.
Thank you to Tinated Herbal. Thank you to NS Chemist. They produce Auntie Mary's Baby Gripe Mixture and Nescofa Blood Tonic. Thank you to Lip Tomato Paste. Good tomato, good taste. Anointed Electrical Engineering Services, the generator experts. African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, and Wilma Africa Limited, manufacturers of Frito cooking oil and Fortune rice, which comes in 3 different types. Green one for Omutu rice water and the soft dishes, the orange one for wache, and the wine packaged one for jollof rice and fried rice and all the other Chicho's kind of rice. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Standpoint. We are supported by Matames. They give us the port to Gogot Yogurt. Thank you for the yogurt, which my panelists and audience always love, and you are the go-to. All the supermarkets you can get. They come in these form, these smaller, forms, and then we have the gallons as well. And thank you to Auntie Vera of House of Foods and Cake Technique. Yep, cleaning services make sure our environment is clean. Now we are talking about depression, the silent killer. The silent killer. That's the topic I gave this program. Hilda. Can depression kill?
Yeah, it almost killed me.
Anyway.
So I'm a living example of the fact that it can kill. And it has killed several others because if you look at the figures with suicide, like she said, 95+%.
So are we saying that it's depression that pushes you to the level of suicide?
Yes. For my case.
For your case, okay.
Yes.
I mean, depression, you have people with depression being suicidal or having suicidal thoughts are common. Not everybody who has suicidal thoughts will carry them out, but some of the people who carry out suicides do that because they have depression.
Okay.
And sometimes the worst thing is that they don't do it when they are very depressed, because at that time you don't have energy. You can't even get out of bed, brush your teeth, bath. I mean, that part. So when it's actually they are recovering, or worse still, when they have a relapse and they look at us like, whoa, 1, 2, 3 episodes, I can't deal with this. That's when they are more likely to commit suicide. But even with a silent killer, it's not just depression doesn't kill people only through suicide. It also can kill people. They will die as a result of that. You have someone who is depressed, who is not eating, not being treated, or goes to hospital, doesn't take the medication, or even takes them, but it's not recognized. And eventually they become anemic, they lose weight, they get organ failure. The primary cause was depression, but the death certificate is most likely would say depression. They will say organ failure or anemia or something. So we need to recognize it and treat it.
So Hilda, now you have a foundation, you have people coming to you. When they come to you, what do you tell them?
With my foundation, what I did was enroll for a guidance and counseling program, a postgraduate program with University of Winnipeg, because I don't have that skill to counsel. And I'll be graduating in April, so I'm now a counselor. And then what I do is I have Dr. Dodoy. I've been here with Dr. Dodoy. He is part of the foundation. He's a psychiatrist. I have so many psychologists from the University of Legon. Professor Kotia is also a board member of the foundation. You are a board member. So when I have cases that are technical, I refer them to those people, because I am not a technical person. I can't handle. But if it is something that I think I can counsel the person, if the person, like a situation where a lady comes to me and says, this is what I'm going through, and then it's a marital thing. There are several of them that I have counseled them not to leave the marriage. If it can work, they should just work on it, and some have worked on it and gone on. So that's what I do. But whatever is beyond me, I don't want to know it all, because I don't. I refer them to
But docs, there's sometimes they are kids, young people who go through depression.
Yes.
It's not relationship based. It's not a, and you just.
That's why I say it's a medical condition. Just like children get malaria and children get cancer, children can also get depression. But what we're also failing to realize that we have a huge problem of child abuse in this country. We've talked about it. I've worked in that area for so long, and yet I know so many children who the parents even won't bring to therapy because of you don't want it publicized. And these children are going through a lot. If they even get depressed, thank God, because they can be picked up and they be treated. But the dangerous one is the ones who seem to be fine until teenage years, and they snap and they do something else. So we need to recognize that depression can affect anybody. It's no respecter of persons, Gifty. You know that it can affect the doctor, it can affect the psychologist, it can affect the psychiatrist. Just like an oncologist can get a cancer, a psychiatrist, a psychologist is also human. I mean, our professions or even skills don't mean that. And you'd be surprised that maybe a psychologist having depression. You said you had it once and you've never recovered. That person's own may be recurrent, and you wonder what is it. So can you even work? So we need to destigmatize it. We need to recognize that it's very treatable, very manageable. You can be treated with drugs alone. You can be treated with therapy alone. And support group. We all need people we can call day or night, and they'll be there. Abna is here. I mean, let me take the opportunity to introduce Abna, darling. Thank you so much for being here. But I know that if I'm going through anything, it doesn't matter the time. I can call her or can text. I have called people in my life that I can access, and we all need that. But we also need to know that we can't talk to everybody about our problems. There are some people you tell them you might as well go to a radio station and broadcast it. I mean, that would be better. At least it will be from your own mouth, and then you are broadcasting it. But these things are important. Throughout last week and this week, we've been emphasizing being there for each other, listening to people. Sometimes what the person is telling is so heavy, you can't handle it. If that is the case, just let them know that, okay, this is tough. I think I'll try and get help for you, because even listening to you, I am going through this. I don't know how you are coping. And that is caring. That's what we need to do. But they're shutting people up and fixing them and thinking that the fact that you are a Christian doesn't mean that you shouldn't have any problem, or just quoting scriptures will solve problems. That doesn't cut. That doesn't cut. So
that doesn't cut. Yeah. Since you mentioned, Sister Vanessa, let me go to her. What contribution or what advice do you have?
Thank you very much. As Nanama has already said, it's very important to be there. Being there is very, very, very important. I can call her anytime. We just talk. Sometimes we are on the phone, but we say nothing. But you know that the other person is there. It has to be active listening. What brings
like that, active listening.
What brings people down is the moment you begin to say the thing to it, I know. You really don't know. So you have to actively listen to hear what they are not saying.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you, Dr. Nana Ama Chirewa Edwin, for this enlightenment. I know we'll revisit this because the issues affecting women, are never ending.
Depression affects men too.
Yes,
and that's
I know.
the problem. Sometimes it's difficult for them to come out
yeah.
because they think they have to be tough, they have to be firm. They are man. How can a man be weeping,
Yeah.
And so.
It is well. We take a break. When we come back, I'll give you a bit of me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you, Dr. Nana Ama Chirewa Edwin, for this enlightenment. I know we'll revisit this because the issues affecting women, are never ending. It is well. We take a break. When we come back, I'll give you a bit of me. Depression, the silent killer. Depression is definitely no respecter of person. It can affect anybody. Young, old, male, female, rich, poor, professional, non-professional, mother, father, single, whoever you are. It doesn't fear you. It can knock at your door. In fact, not knock, it can hit your door and enter any day, any moment. So it's important that we become aware of ourselves. And it's important that our loved ones also become aware of what is happening to us and what we go through. As a people, we are such peace-loving hypocrites. We stigmatize what we don't understand, what we don't know. We become experts and give advice when we know that we have no clue about what the person is telling us. Quick fixes when there are professionals who can help us. Doctors have their roles that they play. Nurses have their roles. Psychiatrists, lawyers, pastors, counselors. If you do not know, direct the person to the right professional who can help. And to us as individuals, life is not easy. Challenges will come. Difficulties will come. Or sometimes your whole family will turn their back on you and you'll be all alone. There are tough times that you may go through, but it's not the end of the world. It should not be the end of your world. There are people out there who can be there for you. I have a friend who says, family are chosen for us by God, but friends, we choose them. So let's be careful the kind of friends we choose, the kind of people we call our own. Run from bad company. Run from bad energy and surround yourself with people with good energy, with true love and affection towards you. And when disaster strikes, know that you are not alone. Don't be ashamed. Things go wrong. But when they do, the most important thing is that life goes on. Sometimes the bad has to happen so that the good and the best can come our way. Don't blame yourself, whatever you go through. Even if it's your fault, you have an opportunity to turn your life around. My name is Ohineye Gifty Auntie. I have super crazy faith in God. And remember, I say this and I sit here not because I did anything right, not because I had everything rosy. Oh, I've been through it. But by grace, it is by His grace that I am here. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.